EA Sports just released the long-anticipated reveal trailer for College Football 26, along with the Campus Huddle blog post that follows it. That usually gives us more insight than the actual trailer does of what we can expect to see with the release of the new game. And I can honestly say that they had some surprises in there, but not all of them were necessarily good ones. I mean, don't get it twisted. I enjoyed the trailer, but it wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. Actually, hearing Enter Sandman was the most exciting thing for me about the trailer. And some information that came out after the official stuff from sources that played the game already had basically confirmed one of my biggest fears about Road to Glory. So here's what I basically gathered from everything we saw and what we were told. No real groundbreaking changes. Although the addition of real coaches was welcomed and appreciated, all other changes should have been in last year's game. Things like updated traditions, reaching for the goal line, formation subs, high school and Road to Glory, and crossplay are the key elements they focused on in the trailer. But due to the amount of time that they had to develop 25, and there are also some features that are a part of Madden, which they share a lot of development resources with, should have been included last year. Speaking specifically on formation subs, reaching the ball, and crossplay, of course. But I can definitely appreciate that they listened to a lot of the community outcries for some of the things we desperately wanted, like more varied menu music, more licensed music that teams use, and updates to wear and tear, as well as player archetypes. It does feel like the game actually took steps forward in comparison to its NFL counterpart. High school and Road to Glory is not what we hoped for. I know most people in the community that wanted to see high school return and Road to Glory wanted the ability to play a full season at minimum. I, for one, wanted to see us get 2 seasons, as the recruiting process for athletes typically starts at least by their junior year, if not sooner. But them only giving us 5 games, but not the full games, and only key moments at that, is just not it. Basically, some insiders who got to play the game early came out and said that the way that the high school portion worked was you pick moments from 5 games that you will play in order to boost your recruiting status. They also mentioned that based on the schools that offer you, there will be performance boosts based on those offers, which I am intrigued in, but it is so half-baked and had the potential to be better than what we had in the past, given that we had more time to flesh out those scenarios out if we were to play a full season. I'm just hoping that this isn't some predetermined branching story thing that we can create our own schools and put them into the mode instead of just using some generic ones that they give us. I, like many others, want to create my old high school and some of its rivals. Put me back in that time frame. Allow me to really live out this mode how I want to live it out. It really truly seems like it took more work for them to give us this mess over full games. I just don't get it. They also said that we would be able to skip the high school portion altogether if we wanted to. Since the same predetermined star system from last year's game is still in place, then why not just let us play the full game? I'm trying to just trust the process, but I'm having a hard time with this one. But we'll have to see. I didn't play this mode at all last year. I mean, I may check it out this time around. But again, we'll see. Recruiting enhancements. Now, this is the section that I look forward to the most when it comes to these reveals. The portal being deeper now with more talent and even higher end talent entering due to those dynamic deal breakers really excites me. It's going to really add a new level of complexity to building out my team long term in Dynasty. But the part that really has my attention and has my brain doing backflips right now is the section that I have highlighted right here. This is from the Campus Huddle blog. It's in the Dynasty section. It says, how you create your dynasty will now be more important than ever if you want to cement your legacy as one of the best coaches. Assemble an elite staff, upgrade your coaching abilities, and then lay it all out on the field. Navigate the now expanded and more unpredictable transfer portal, featuring thousands of players each year. Personnel management has never been more important with the new location-based visits. having the potential to give your program an advantage in recruiting. Now, what stood out to me the most is the fact that they made sure to mention your staff multiple times in this article, as well as mentioning location-based visits. Now, the first thing that comes to my mind when I see that is that your coaches will have areas of expertise and they will get boosts for recruiting specific areas. Kind of how like offensive coordinator for Ohio State, Brian Hartline, has a direct pipeline into South Florida and is able to pull elite wide receiver talents out of the area year after year. And reading into that a little bit further, hopefully this means that we will also see the return of pipelines being dynamic as well. Meaning that, say for example, if Brian Hartline is offered a head coach job at another school, let's say like Miami, for example. Well, not Miami because it's already Florida. Let's say like UCLA instead, right? If Brian Hartline were to be able to land a head coach job at UCLA, their pipeline for being able to pull talent out of the South Florida area would increase. I swear I hope that's what that means, because realistically speaking, no school can recruit a given area at a consistent level unless that school is already located in the area. You know what I mean? But my ultimate dream for something like this is that we would get to hire multiple staff members that determine our scouting and recruiting prowess. Kind of like what like you get in the NBA 2K series, where you can hire a trainer that affects how fast your players come back from injury. You hire scouts that determines on how accurate the information you get back from those draft prospects are. Each of those staff members have a grade associated with them, and the accuracy of their information can vary based on a few different factors. But that is just a dream at this point, and is definitely more of a wait and see type of ask. All in all, I'm not quite blown away with what we've been shown. And if I had to give it a letter grade, I would say it sits comfortable at a B-, but teetering on a C+ for me. But all of that is dependent on the remaining information that we get surrounding Dynasty and Team Builder. The gameplay last year to me was more than good. It was very fun and engaging, and the presentation felt representative of what we see on Saturdays in the fall. But past that is where it felt like it lacked seasoning. I'd say what we got last year was a great base to build upon for 3 to 4 iterations before we need to completely reshuffle the deck. As I believe over the course of the next couple of iterations, we could see the almost perfect college football video game, provided that EA doesn't ruin it with forcing the dev team to focus on that microtransaction riddled mess that is Ultimate Team by reducing resources from the core modes of this game. I've heard people call this game College Football 25 2.0 or College Football 25 and a half, which in the grand scheme of things is accurate, but quite frankly, I don't mind as much as others do, since I didn't play 25 as much as I anticipated or initially desired to in the first place. But for someone who had paid full price for the game last year and is intending on buying this game at launch, I understand where the feeling of not enough was done in between releases comes from. So seeing what they have done as far as listening to community feedback on what we were looking for, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. But just this once, this cannot be a yearly thing for the team going forward, as that will land them in the same boat as the Madden team, where they are consistently behind on what they are delivering in these games annually, but aren't justified in the price. Because at some point, there's a price to pay for negligence. And if we can't continue to trust that you will deliver us a product that we feel is adequate value for the money that we pay for it, with adequate improvements year over year, and we will give you that same level of criticism. But I am still optimistic, as their reveal trailer and first Campus Huddle for last year's game omitted much of the real stuff I was looking forward to that we got later on from the Dynasty breakdowns and subsequent Campus Huddle blogs. So here's to holding out for more. And what were some of your guys' biggest takeaways from the reveal? I would love to know, so please leave those down in the comment section for me. And while you guys are down there, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I appreciate you guys for kicking it with me today. So until next time, y'all stay blessed. I'm out.